Well, Grand Rising, Elizabeth, today is November the 7th, 2022, and it's a wonderful, beautiful Monday. Our guest, our host for Monday is none other than Danielle Claxton. And we are going to have a wonderful time, and we're just going to turn it on over and we're going to get started. We're going to talk about what happened this weekend.
Yes. So let's get started with this one right here because I don't think a lot of people know that there's been a shift and a change. So Mogul Mindset Mondays is no more. That name was created by the creatress of At Peace Makita, and she is moving on to other endeavors. So basically, this is now you're now on Blooming Lotus, Awaken with Blooming Lotus. So I didn't know if you knew the change. There was a change, but there's a slight change. That's the slight change. Welcome to Awaken with the Blooming Lotus. And that's how we're doing it moving forward. And if it evolves to something else, it's going to evolve into something else. But yeah, I just want to let you know this is Blooming Lotus. So that's what we're doing. We're awakening with the Blooming Lotus.
Yeah.
So I'll get into a sidebar how I got that name, but I want to talk about the Creatress Summit. The Creatress Summit was, oh my God, if you are in business and you're a Black woman entrepreneur and you wanted to know anything and everything about just anything in business, it was a woman of color there speaking upon grant writing, which I missed on Friday, but that's okay. I got the connections. I can go back and I can sit and be like, look, let's talk about this. There's another sister that has access to grants from Cleveland, Ohio. We talked, it was so good to sit refreshing to sit down and listen to the social media part, the content creation, the branding, your business. It was just phenomenal. But what also made it even better was the fact that we broke and actually had a sister circle. Um, we talked about what we're dealing with outside of dealing with business and husbands and kids and relationships. A lot of women, a lot of young women are dealing with the mental illness of it all, the anxiety, the depression. Um, what is it? Stuff that was never diagnosed years ago, being ADHD. They openly admit what was going on and was able to get support from other sisters like, hey, me too, me too, me three, me four, me five. I'm dealing with all of this, plus I'm dealing with my own mental issues, plus and it was really good to just be in a safe space to just and realize you're not the only one going through this. So it was definitely a safe space. I know the women who were there were meant to be there. It would have been nice if more Black womenpreneurs were there because if you needed support for something, you would have found it. And it's definitely a sisterhood has been created um so that we can all, get the bag essentially. Queen of Dewey, I want to hear your experience because you was there. Not only were you there the whole weekend, but by you being an elder, you added a certain wisdom value to the summit because you were the eldest there. You was the eldest attendee there, looking fine and beautiful, and she was there with her notebook and her backpack and her laptop, and she was taking notes like nobody's business. So I want to hear from your perspective. Um, what did you think about the summit? Because my mind was blown. I'm got so much knowledge. I'm sitting here like, oh yeah.
Well, what I really loved was there were as young as those young ladies were, there were some sisters that was pulling in six figures. Now that at that young age was phenomenal to me. So, and then the leader she just reminded me so much of myself. Matter of fact, I shared that with her, and then when her mother was sitting in the back and her sister was helping me, I said that would have been my mom. Your sister would have been Pam. So seeing that and just watching them go through and support one another was beautiful. And just realizing that it doesn't matter the age, you go through what you go through. And like what you were saying about the what was that, bipolar and all of that.
Mental illness.
Yeah, mental illness, whichever way it shows up, it happens at all ages. It doesn't just, stop, and some people don't realize it until later on. Now the older ones accept it and know how to manage it for themselves because it didn't go away anywhere, and then the topics were perfect. The speakers, they were dynamic. And then we had this one time, I don't know if y'all, well, I know Bridget wasn't. I don't know if Juanita was on when Claudette came on. And I know Danielle was not, but we did this, what is this? Something slave?
Nama Slay.
Nama Slay. And that was amazing. That was Saturday evening. And that's with the yoga mats all over the floor, how they set the room up, and it was about really getting into yourself, your sensuality, and movement and exercising and all that kind of stuff, but done not in just a yoga way, but in a very sensuous way to tap into who we are as women. So that was cool. I did a little dance for my honey when I got home that night. And what'd you say? We did a little dance. Yeah. So yeah, and then just it was really nice. I told Peace. At Peace, I said we did that sister circle thing. So she had asked, how was it? So it was very good. It was very good. And I told them at the end, I would love to collaborate with them on an event where you have all three generations there, because they was talking about their children. And I said, well, we need to bring some elders in here so that you have all three generations. It doesn't have to be just a Elizabeth group or just a creatress group, but we just collaborate around something which is a separate event that we can do. So yeah, it was very good, and
I can definitely see
breakthroughs that the girls got was awesome. I got as well.
I can definitely see Elizabeth and the creatress collaborating on something together. Because it's just the knowledge that gets shared between the generations. Like I'm really glad that the elders showed up, because I don't want to say I feel like I'm an elder, but like I said, I was of service to Saida. Saida's 10 years younger than me. And I do look at her as an extension of me. So here you are doing everything that I backed out on fear doing, because I dream big and get scared by my own dreams, and I'm no longer doing that anymore. And hey, Mr. Phil, I see you.
What did he do?
Trying to be big.
You're trying to be big.
Hi, morning crew. How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh,
Good morning.
And I'm stepping on faith and fear, step on faith now instead of being in fear, because I get afraid by how big I dream. So she put this together. She did this. The conference was virtual for 3 years, and she decided to do it physical for the first time. And she went big. It just wasn't enough of us. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I know the same women that come to me, oh, I need help with my website. I need help with this. I need help with that. I'm gonna be looking at them like, where were you this weekend? Because I gave you the link, you know what I'm saying? I gave you the opportunity where everything that people come to me now was at this conference. So I'm like, if you, it's like, okay, that's okay. We gonna grow. We're gonna support each other. The networking was huge for me, because the young lady that spoke about how to humanize branding your business, yes, I'm at that point where I'm ready to wear a Blooming Lotus t-shirt, start wearing my Tava t-shirts. I don't want to wear Calvin Klein. Um, I don't want nothing but my brands to be worn on my body. That's where I'm at. So yes, Queen of we got to come out with an Elizabeth t-shirt because I'm ready to support, really support what's supporting me. Calvin Klein is not supporting me. Having Tommy figure across my chest or Gucci or whoever is not supporting. It's not supporting me. Um, and so yeah, I want to start wearing my business so I can, if I, I guess I hope I'm making sense. This is what's be putting food on my table. Okay, I need to have that. That's putting food on my table. On branding on me. So that's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for wearing my brands and supporting my brands. Even if you see my coffee cup, this is my CBD coffee, which I do have with Taba, and it has its health benefits. That's why I drink it, because it's a coffee drink with health benefits. I don't drink coffee just to drink coffee. Um, I'm ready to support my brands. So even though I got this Queen of Dooney this weekend, I'm gonna figure out some way to get the brand. Yes, coffee mugs, the t-shirts. I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. Being a brand of the brand. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So Bridget, I hope that answered your question. They do have they created a monthly membership for just resources, because we need those resources. We need to come together and support each other. Juanita, thank you for coming down. You came down for a second, and I am gonna give you a shout out. I am so proud of you because you even came and was like, can we go live? Oh, and we went live with it. And I've been watching you, Juanita. You've been jumped on TikTok, and I've been watching your TikToks. I see you. I see you. I see you. So um yes, social media is the way. That's how you get your brands out there, in addition to traditional marketing, ladies. There is no way of getting around that. There's just no way. And you know it's just something that you, until you get to the point where you could hire somebody else to do it for you, we have to do this ourselves. So even I jumped out on faith and jumped out on I did a lot of lives this past weekend. And Bridget, you can see me do Nama Slay. That's also uh me stepping out, because yeah, I've been live before with belly dancing, but watching me do something sensual and all this other stuff, I just want to show more women that, hey, this is what we need to do to bring balance to ourselves, to bring balance. It's okay to step into your femininity just for you. Um, and just to show people like, okay, y'all missing out on something so phenomenal that you should be here. And when it comes to doing stuff a little silly or being a little comical, I tend to step away from doing that when it comes to social media. I'm stepping out of that. So watch out for one or two reels where I'm actually theatrical or something like that. I almost say theatrical, um, in order to bring more awareness to my brand. So does anybody have any questions? Any questions, ladies?
No, actually, that answered my question. I got a chance to peek at a couple of things you guys did over the weekend. I was working events myself, so so it was definitely a conference that I wish that I would have been able to be at, but this is the height of wedding season, so which is coming to an end. But to hear about it, I'm definitely interested in the membership part of it and that connecting.
I will make
Because
sure I'll make sure I put all the QR codes up during the show so you can get access to that.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, like I said, this I know this is the big combination of things. The membership is definitely something so that we can keep that sister circle going together, going consistently. I even told Saida, at least for the people that participated, might be kind of nice to do a nice little retreat somewhere. Because now I'm like, oh, let's go on, not necessarily go on the road, but to take it somewhere else and just really, yeah, we could do this. But she is doing this definitely doing this next year. And like I said, I know I stood up on stage. She asked who wants to speak next year. I stood up. I think I was the first one to go on stage. I was like, yeah, I could see myself talking to people about something. I can see that, but I also felt that bug too when I was in Houston 2 weeks ago, for the TABA convention. I can see myself on that stage next year talking about the progression of, from this year to next year. So speaking, speaking engagements, we can get into speaking engagements, and I'm definitely at that point where it's like, okay, and I also feel that I can get paid for doing this. So I'm in a season of I'm not doing anything for free because I'm like, we got bills to pay, and we all have to start somewhere. So I learned also that there are plenty of speaking events, engagements. Shoot, schools got budgets, and they will pay for people to come in and talk to their students about entrepreneurship or spirituality or mentality. It's like everything that we're doing, and you can actually get paid for doing that. So I'm like, okay, we're writing down some things of what we can start mentoring these young people, put it in their mind that you can start focusing on and creating and manifesting now.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay. So like I said, I love the spirit, even though it wasn't talked about, the spirituality was there because I love Mama Shu when she did her piece and she talked about how she's got different shrines for ancestors on her property over in Avalon Village, which I knew that. I knew that, but I didn't know if other people knew that. So that's and then we talked about it at the last show about bringing the ancestors into our business. We did talk about that the last show because we talked about the ancestors because it was Halloween or All Saints
Right.
Eve,
Mhm.
and it was perfect for Mama Shu to let people know that she worked with her ancestors as well. If you're not sure who Mama Shu is, she is a woman that basically brought up her whole block in Highland Park, Avalon, and she turned it into Avalon Village. And for like the last 10 years, she's been turning it into a community, for a safe space for her community because her community no longer had any safe spaces for its children. Highland Park is one of the poorest cities um, in the state of Michigan, probably right behind Pontiac, but it's closer to us because it's in the middle. Highland Park is a city in the middle of the city.
Mhm.
And you know, they have no libraries, they have no public school system. Actually, the public school is actually crumbling. It's really sad. If you drive past it, it's crumbling, literally. They don't have their own public school system. They don't have the city of Detroit went in a few years ago and took back their street lights. It's like, who does that?
Yeah, right. That
So
that was like, what? How do you just take light from people?
yeah,
Uh, yeah, how do you just do that? But
so,
I guess it's a business.
yeah. So basically, she decided that she was going to create that space, and
Mm-hmm.
she started buying the houses on her block, one by one,
Mm-hmm.
and realized you can acquire a house. Unfortunately, you can acquire a whole big house in Highland Park like that for like 3 grand back in the day. Now you're gonna have to do some work to it for a 3 grand house like that, but you can. And she just started, and then she started getting support, and then she started doing. It took her some years to
Mm-hmm.
do this, but if you look up "Got a Shoe" in Avalon Village, she even got word from Ellen, and got blessed by Ellen with a container property for
Ellen
house.
DeGeneres.
Like, right, Ellen DeGeneres. So if you go to Avalon Village, you'll see the basketball courts, you see Jacoby Rock Park, you'll see the Homeward House. And I remember when I started my spiritual journey, meeting Goddess Shu, I remember her talking about her vision. She talked about her vision then with such passion, and to see it come to fruition now, and to see all the work that she went through to get to where it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really saw somebody say they was going to do something. They worked out a plan. She had, what I told her personally, it's like, you had stumbling blocks, but you never stopped. And the stumbling block, like, she had a 21-year-old that got killed. Her son got killed 2 years ago on the property.
Another thing.
Another son. And
Mm-hmm.
then she had a younger son that got killed, hit by a car by 2 years old. He was the inspiration for Jacoby Rock Park. She didn't stop. May have slowed her down, but she never stopped. So her vision has come through fruition, and she's really heavy on using her ancestor or having her ancestors help her overcome the roadblocks that she has or that shows up when it comes to her business.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, that inspiration right there, that sister girl is absolutely amazing and so humble and still approachable. You know what I'm saying? And she's getting everything that she needs done. And I remember she has a what is it? Project manager. She has project managers now. She has what is it, donations coming through. She has all of, and of course, you know, we got, she's got the business, everything set up, the nonprofit, the LLCs and everything like that. So it's like, okay, it's just time to get things together, get our businesses together, get our LLCs, get our business in orders, tap for tax rights, because that's the other thing. You got to have your paperwork together in order to qualify and get these grants. So we can't even talk about grant writing if we don't have our business papers together.
Mhm.
So, you know, and then I know, what is it? You can go to the government, MI Laura, to to get stuff together. You can also go to tailormadebrands.com, and you can get your LLC for like, I think it's like $50. I heard you can get it for $50. Make sure your business is registered within the city and the county that you're in. Let's get our legitimacies together so that we can go out and get this grant money, because there's a lot of grant money for what we call double minorities, because we're Black and we're female.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, it's time to get stuff together, shift into a form to get stuff together. And
What was that
yeah,
that place those last initials that you said in registering your business?
a LLC,
Yeah, you said, I know you mentioned Laura, but what was the other one?
Tailor Made
Taylor.
Brands.
Taylor or
Mhm.
Tai?
I think it's
I think Tai,
It's Taylor.
Tailor Made. Mm-hmm. The other one is somebody's name, Tai. Okay. .org or probably .org or .com. Well, I'll find out.
I'll
Yeah.
look it up real quick. Tailor Made Brands. I think that, it's just time for us to just step it up a little bit.
Mhm.
The young lady that did, like I said, the young lady that did the branding, she was a young lady that worked in my uncle's shop years ago.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember her going to Wayne State and going to school, and working at the same time. And I was like, oh wow, it's just nice to see people evolve.
Yeah.
And yeah, her presentation was amazing. The young ladies that got up and did the presentations, it definitely makes me I'm ready to do a presentation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do this. I want to do this.
You know what was so funny? I was thinking about this last night. I said, wow, my baby being you, right? I said, as we're sitting there and all those young ladies, and I remember that being you when I first met you. I'm talking about Danielle. When I first met her, she was that age and all piping and bubbling, just like she is now. But for her to be in the midst where she's one of the elder, not elder like me, but one of the, like their big sister and stuff, and just to see her, say, wow, we are really growing up more. We are growing up more. Yeah. And so when you were in the circle and you said, you mentioned 40, said, well, you just mentioned that you were older than them. I said, wow, life just keeps going until you exit and then you experience a different life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I just thought they did a good job. Mhm.
They did an excellent job. I'm so glad I was a part of that. And just to see from the background, see the background. And I'm like, oh, okay. Just the creation of how everything was set up, everything was branded. Um, the lanyards, I love the lanyards where you create your own mantra. Um, the colors, just everything. I mean, everything was set up like we was in the boardroom. I liked that, and I didn't realize that each one of the name tags had different like goddess, fempreneur, millionaire. I was like, oh, I love this. And then, the notebooks, they were ready. I got so many notes, it's ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go over here, we're gonna apply. I like the first girl, Janelle from Atlanta, when she talked about the 7 secrets for six figures.
Yeah, yeah, she's one of those 6-figure sisters. And the one from Ohio with the
Bianca.
with the grants and stuff like that. So yeah, I've already set up to talk to both of them.
And yes, I need some 6-figure chicks in my life,
Mhm.
and so that I can get those 6 figures. Yeah, we talked about value, we talked about our worth, we talked about our identity. Oh, yes. So the biggest thing for me was we actually did board breaking. Board breaking. We wrote. We had these wood boards that we had, and we wrote the identity that perception people have of us, or stuff that we're holding on to that we want to release. And on the other side, you wrote everything down that you wanted to gain. And we actually put it on cinder blocks and broke the board. Well, it took me like 5 times to actually break that board, but I broke it. I did break my board. And the lesson for me with that was perseverance. Sometimes you got to keep going at it. Honestly, I had to take off my bracelets. My bracelets, come to find out, were actually protecting me from breaking that board. Didn't realize that till another sister told me, hey, take these off. As soon as I took these off, I was able to break that board. But that, oh my God, like the actual, how you go see the what is it? Karate movies, and they're like, okay, how you gonna break that? We actually broke boards like that. So that was a breakthrough activity, an activity in breakthroughs.
Mhm. Well,
So
it was also an exercise of support, because as she was going through breaking the board, and it wouldn't break, so every time that it didn't break and stuff, we would pull in for her and pull in to support her and hype it up and everything. There was no judgment on it and stuff. It was like, okay, and then they try something different. Well, okay, now look at it and see, and blah 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 blah. And like she said, when the sister said, take those bracelets, the bracelets off.
mhm.
And the sister who said that, that's what she does. She deals with crystals and all of that. So she understood what was happening with those on there, which was protection for her. She needed to remove so that she can that word, and break through that. So that was unique, but everybody just really supported one another. And after one would say something that, okay, that I would never, maybe, I wouldn't say that. When one would be open and vulnerable, then the next one would come up and be vulnerable to say whatever they needed to say. So that was really, really, really good. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was powerful. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what we need to do. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, because you think you go, everybody doing it, it's like, okay, I'm not getting it. What's going on? And I said that I kept bending my hand, but it's because I think definitely the bracelets, if there's a testimony to me wearing my bracelets for protection, I was like, oh, okay, there we go. That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the support, it's like, we gonna get this. It don't matter how many tries. And you would think after that, this hand would be hurting or swollen or something like that. It's not. It wasn't. I mean, it was getting sore. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Yeah.
getting sore.
Mhm.
But the afterwards, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's perfectly okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes we get afraid. I don't know. We ask for things, and then sometimes you get afraid when it starts happening. Like, what are you breaking through? It's like, we're breaking through a lot. We're breaking through a lot, but
Mm.
it's a good thing. So it's November. We are here. This is November. I can't believe the year is almost over.
Yeah. And a wonderful gratitude, month of gratitude. I want to share that uh, on Tuesday, on Mama Razia's day, the Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving. At one point I was going to do it the day, the Thanksgiving morning, that Thursday morning and stuff, but I realized people are going to be, their heads will be everywhere, or they're on the road and stuff. So we're going to do, Zoom will be in your kitchen. And we will get what the recipes are, but we're going to all do some kind of morning thing together. And Razia is going to put that together and say what we need to have in order to do that. So I'm sure it'll be a smoothie. And we just still have to fine tune it, whether we might be in Danielle's kitchen to make a particular thing, in Mama Razia's kitchen, because we're all in a box anyway, and then something else. So it'll be 2 or 3 things, and we will break bread together that morning. And so I think I'm excited about that. That would be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So it's going to be really cool.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Junie and I will be in the same box.
So we get a twofer. We get a 2-for-1. We get
Two for
Star
one,
and
two
Queen.
for 2 for 1, 2 for 1.
Hmm.
So,
I
yeah.
wanna-
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just excited. Take this time out because I've been going, and still going even after the show. It's like, oh, okay. We still got some things. But I do want to take the time out starting today of doing start doing a gratitude journal. Want us to start writing out, let's say 25. I was gonna go 50, but let's do 25 things that we're thankful for or grateful for. On a daily basis, and see by the end of November, by the end of the last Monday of this month, see what all that we come up with. Because I know for me, I'm grateful that I was able to be in a space with like-minded women, regardless of the age that they were. It was the like-mindedness
Mm-hmm.
that I appreciate to be in the room with. We even had a woman come in and talk about wellness. And I know she was talking to me because I know I need to get up and start lifting weights. And I need to find the time, knowing that the perfect time for me is to get up at 6:30 to get my behind in the gym. So I've been making every excuse not to do it. And now there is no excuse. My company, Tava, has a regional cruise in April to Mexico, Kalamazoo, Mexico. I ain't got time to play around. I need to start toning up and lifting weights now, and I know it. So probably after this show, I'm gonna go directly to the gym on my apartment property because I ain't got no excuse. I got right here, have it, and start getting this weightlifting in. Period. Um, in order to get ready, or not only get ready for that, I need to lift weights. I'm not doing it just because I'm on a cruise. I need to get tightened and toned. I've already lost what I call my waist weight. And if you guys see me, I have lost my waist weight. All that was just accumulated of waste. And I need to tighten up and tone. So that's one of the commitments that I'm doing, that I'm committing myself. I have a program already that I purchased from a sis. Her name is Capri Curves. I'm gonna try to get her on the show. She has a program called Drop the Fat, Keep the Curves.
Mm-hmm.
$50 in Dropbox. It's a hit type of workout, meaning that it's a lot of squats. You're using your own body for the momentum and for the weight and everything like that. And for me, it's a lot of cussing. I cuss like a sailor because shoot, I guess whatever's trapped up inside of me, it comes out. Because it's not an easy workout and it's not pretty, but the results are baby. Yeah. So I'm about to hit that. And then she also has the gains program 2.0. I think the curves is like $50, the gains is $100, but their drop box files. Once you purchase it, it's a box file, and she's give you the home workout and the gym workout. So there's no reason why not to do this. It's just I have to do it 5 days a week. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to start doing this because I need to do this. I just need to do it, period.
Mhm.
And the meal prepping that she talked about, yes, I need to do the meal prep. Yes, I need to do all this. So yeah, I'm got to get my schedule together, and we're going to be doing this. And yes, I'm still cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and yes, we still gonna be working out. So that's just that. So um yeah. So the gratitude, I want to say that was my gratitude. What is your what's one thing that you're grateful for? Let's start off, let's kick it off by saying the one thing, well, one or two things that we're grateful for already.
Um, well, I'm grateful for life as I tried to leave it. Well, no, 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 no. I am so sorry. I used that word, but that wasn't what I wasn't, I wasn't doing the T thing. It was a desire, that very strong desire that God would let me have.
Mm,
But since I'm talking, I know you said grateful one thing, but I want to go back to what you were saying, Danielle, about the board
mhm,
and how your hand was hurting. It made me think about a song that Whitney Houston sings, One Moment in Time.
Mhm.
And she's basically talking about sports. And where there's a line in there where she says, I broke my heart for every game. And to get to, in all of this, to get to that one moment in time, that thing that you plan for, that goal. And it's like I'm reminded of the light bulb where they said he failed so many times. And he said, no, I didn't fail. That was just another way I found out that that's not how you make the light bulb.
Yeah.
And so and that's just what I thought about when you were talking about the board, that yes, it might have hurt and it might not have broke, but there was a step forward that I made.
mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely take that. Yes. Yes. So I'm like, yeah. And like I said, for me, it was a lesson in perseverance. Don't give up. Don't give up. Not every obstacle is going to instantly, magically disappear. Sometimes you got to go at it. You got to go at it and go at it hard. So I'm like, I'm glad. And I have the board, and I kind of do believe I have your board too. Because I have to have to burn it, have to get rid of it. That energy is still there, so got to get rid of it. So definitely need to find somebody with a fire pit so I can just, you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I'll get my board because I was just thinking I probably should have grabbed my boards and then like I said, just destroy them. I could because I have a big grill out here. I can just put it in there and
And
let it.
another way of doing that activity too is getting a white plate from the dollar store and Sharpie. Do the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Write it on that plate and break it. Breaking it is releasing it and letting it go to get through your breakthrough. So
Yeah. And then I know it was the last one, the last sister circle that we did with Peace. Yeah, you were there.
mhm.
You were there and we went out and rewrote it and then well, I didn't write, but I said it in my head because I didn't get the memo to have it ready. And yeah, so you can burn. There's so many different ways that you can release. So so gratitude. You know what? I am grateful for discovery for me. So I was sharing, and I'll share with you ladies that I I got a revelation, and I was sharing with Pam with Star that I had I had actually brought myself down to a fixed income in my mind. And I was operating from that fixed income. I only have this that I can depend on because I have other, bills and things that I need to address, and the money, and I'm basing everything on that money that I know I have coming in, which is definitely not enough to do very much. And when you start having people calling you and all this, and they want something now, or I'm going to do this and stuff like that. And I just realized, wow, I came down, brought my mentality down to that. I only have this. I only get this. I said, whoa, that is not my normal thinking. And I had to release that. That
So
everything shows up when I need it, and the abundance, I am abundance, and I am this. Now, do I need to manage that better? Yes. And am I going to, and am I doing that? Yes. But I had to realize, damn, I have brought myself down to
fixed income.
a fix.
But are you looking at it that you have a stream, you have multiple streams of income, and that is one of your streams of income? Are you thinking about it like that now, as opposed to a fixed income that is an infinite stream of income?
Well, yeah, but in those moments, I mean, now, yeah. But just to think that I had to realize, whoa, and that's from the pressure of this and the pressure of that and wanting to be safe, all of that. But the realization of that, I had brought myself down to that, was like, whoa, pop, 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 pop. Come on, wake up, which is the beginning. You can, once you realize the way you're thinking and what you're saying, because that became a what do you call it, a confession, when I was dealing with those who want, it wasn't just who I have to pay, but it was also, in order for me to go forward, I would have to commit to this, paying this, because they want to get paid, they're going to help you and all that. I forgot all about that part. And then I realized, wait a minute, if I hire them and they do what they're supposed to do, then them doing what they're supposed to do would bring in the money for me to be able to pay them. I just had to reassess my mind, my thoughts. I remember when my mom was, I had videos, and my mom was like the secretary, and she would come in, she said, we need this video, we need this. And I had to go get some made. They were already made, but I had to get some more done. And my thinking is, oh, I gotta, but I'm gonna have to spend this money. My mom walked in and she said, Sheila, the money is sitting right there. You need to get the video so that you can then use the money. And I was like, oh, where is my mind? Because I'm like operating, I'm, dealing with the students and dealing with all this. And then sometimes you can just get, and I'm not going to say you, I'm going to say me. Sometimes I would go there, and it would take that realization. Wait a minute. How are you thinking? How are you, putting yourself in this box? Anyway, so that was that's my gratitude, that I saw that. First is the revelation of what you're thinking, what you're seeing. And so when I saw that, I said, oh no, I got to rethink. I got to change that in my mind. So I am grateful for the release of that. And yeah, that's what I'm glad about.
I'm free from the label, and go ahead.
No, I was just singing, I'm glad about it.
I'm glad for the shift in thinking that's going on with me, and the shift of like I said, the type of people who are around me, because that's what's going to propel each and every one of us to the next level. And the mentality, the mindset is so powerful that I do find myself changing the way that I talk to people. Like I said, even I know I have debt collectors coming after me right now. I had one debt collector that was like, "Oh, you qualify for this program." I was like, "I called you before I knew when I knew that the situation was not working out, looking for assistance, and you didn't want to help me. Now, after the days have passed, and all of a sudden I qualify and you want to help me, I had to let them know you're no longer on my priority list right now. I have a major need that I need to take care of. Right, that's taking care of, that's taking care of a major that's taking my income and everything for right now to take care of. Once I
Mhm.
take care of this major need, then you'll be back on my priority list, but you're not. I had to let them know you're not top on my priority. And I'm listening to how I'm talking to these bill collectors, and they're listening like, oh, okay, yeah, there's nothing I could do for you right now. Not right now. Maybe later on in time. Yes. But like I said, you're on my list, but you're not on my priority list.
You're
And I'm
not
just
the priority.
woo,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, we're changing the dynamics. So in other words, I'm going to pay you guys. I'm just not doing it right now. I got something else that needs to be taken care of. That
Yeah, well,
needs to be.
that's the same thing, Danielle, with me when I had to speak to about the class that I'm taking and the profitable speaker. And I just had to say, look, I cannot do this with my teeth like this. Once my teeth get fixed, so I need to focus on getting that done because that will always be a block. It will always be until the teeth get fixed. When the teeth get fixed, oh baby, because then I can be the speaker without this. And I can be the singer because I can open my mouth and sing. And, because I pulled out back off of a lot of things. So, but once that gets taken care of, and I have to take the money and I have to take care of that so that I am free. Because, baby, once this gets done, you talk about because my music will be out there. I can go and be a speaker. Even for the event that's coming up, I'm making a list of, radio shows and stuff. But I said, whoa, I can't go on TV, but my teeth will be done by the time close to the show. So I will be able to go on, the news and stuff like that and speak about the event. But right now, mm-mm. And so I just said, I must take care of this, or it'll always be the next month. It's going to be the same thing. So, like you said, wait, I've got to prioritize this with what I do have and what I do know that's coming in, which is that particular source. And the other sources that I have that I'm doing it, just is taking care of, you know, what it's just taking care of whatever it needs to take care of. But for me to, and then even to say I'm a millionaire, I mean, I can say it and stuff, but people look, well, you should get your teeth fixed.
Well, let me tell you this. One of the mentors that I have when it comes to social media, because I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you guys know, I don't know everything. I know enough that I don't know everything. I have people whom I follow, that I watch to learn and emulate, and you know, add my spin onto it and keep it moving. She's in Tava. Her name is Krishan Peace. I'm gonna have her on the show when it comes to marketing. She's a real estate agent, but she's also a great leader who's teaching me how to be a leader as well. I follow her guys on social media, and one thing I noticed is that I never noticed until I started talking to her up in person. You know, her bottom row is not the best. And I just say this because I didn't realize until I talked to her in face to face that her bottom, her teeth. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I know at some point she's definitely gonna get it fixed. But what I'm saying is she's been speaking, she's still doing her will, she's still doing everything that she needs to do until she gets to that point where that gets taken care of. So it's like sometimes we can't do it as fabulous as we want to do it, but that doesn't mean that you don't stop. Like how a lot of young ladies at the event talking about they have social anxiety and we have them in their face on the camera and everything, and it's like, but you don't have to do your face. Like you don't have to have your face. You don't have to. You could use your voice and just have the video and everything and speak about your voice and everything. The key trick to doing it is just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just getting started. Start somewhere.
Mhm.
Just get started somewhere. Because like I said, I took so much pictures and videos, and now today is the day for me to actually sit and actually edit, batch, and pre-schedule and send all this stuff out. Because like I said, I know I don't have people on here because I didn't schedule this stuff. I've been working all week and literally working all week. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to take it. I'm ready to be the owner now instead of being the employee. Because
Mhm.
I'm just at that level. I want my freedom so I can do other things to do other things to be impactful in people's lives. So yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Juanita shared hers.
Juanita?
Uh-huh. She shared her. She said she's listening only for now. She's got to deal with some business matter, but what she wrote was
Is she
um
coming on? She coming on? Juanita,
are
are
you
you there?
coming on, baby?
Yeah, I'm chiming in. I finally got myself to the point that I won't scare y'all this morning.
You so
But
fun.
yeah, vision, grateful for vision, inner vision,
Yeah.
physical, mental, spiritual, and indeed our shared vision or visions, feeding into each other's, the vision of the village.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. Yep. Thank you guys.
Ashe. Ashe. Bridget, you able to pop on?
Here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful for open doors.
Yeah.
Grateful for open doors. Since taking my class, I've had a lot of doors open. And when you talk about mindset, I'm busier than I've and grateful for it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't complain about it at all. But those open doors have put me in rooms with people I never thought I'd be in rooms with. And it does flip your mindset because you're now in rooms with people that pull you up. And so your conversation changes.
Yeah.
I've always known the power of words. It was something that my father always talked about. And it's interesting that when he passed away, little did I know, and I found he had Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. He had the book and the audio, and I grabbed that. And so I listened to that a great deal. But it's what you say. The power of what you speak out of your mouth is so huge. And what you want to see come through, whether it's in 6 months or 3 years, really being careful what you say and that you don't cancel out your own blessings. Doing events, I've had an opportunity to go into people's homes that are doing events in their homes. And when you walk into these houses, it takes your mind to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know, when you're walking into somebody's house who has the money to do an event in their home, and you're walking into a house in Bloomfield, and this house has more rooms than you can think of, and just, it totally expands your mind. And so having an opportunity to be around different people of all walks of life and hold these conversations with people, it really takes you to another level. And then, you know, of course, the Elizabeths being around a group of women who are all moving in the same direction. So, so I am grateful for open doors.
Ashe.
Ashe. So you brought up something that, like we said, we brought up last time. I know for a fact because I have my ancestor shrine. I'm looking at it right now, and it needs some attention because I have not. I'm going to take the time out to actually spend time with my ancestors, and I am going to bring my ancestors into my business. That's the one thing I never thought of doing. I'd be like, I pray for protection in the house and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna bring them into my business because I'm like, I need some help. Need some help. I need some direction. Like you said, open doors. Just now, it's just more so. I've gotten a lot of knowledge in the last 2 weeks, a lot. Now it's time to implement that into into just, it's time to implement it. And I know what I'm going to do. My question is, have you done, so here's a good question. Have you done ancestral vindication before? Yes or no? And I'm gonna say, are you ladies interested in learning how to do ancestral vindication? Just how to honor and bring the ancestors more into your life, into your business.
Yes, I haven't done it before and I'm willing to learn.
Ah, okay.
No, I've never done it before. And I'm definitely interested in learning.
Okay. I'm like, let me ask if they want to do this. So I would definitely say get your pen and paper out, because you're gonna need some pen and paper just so that you can write down some notes. When it comes to ancestral vindication, it's not hocus pocus, it's not scary, it's not any of that. It's probably one of the most humblest things that you can do. And if you can incorporate it on a daily basis, that's great. If you can incorporate it once a week, that's great. The point of the matter is to start, as much as, how can I say this? As much as we pray, some of us pray to God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, you kind of want to start adding your ancestors to the list as well, because they're your first spiritual team. They're your first spiritual guide. We just didn't know that. We got taught differently. But if you like me and you visit frequent other businesses of other cultures, I have to get my nails done. They typically have altars at their front registered. You know what I'm saying? They have stuff there that's like there in their business. They have their ancestors and their spirit guides in their business right there in front of you at their cash register. How many of you have seen that? The other cultures.
Yeah.
It's right there. So for us to be at home, you want to make this, start off with it. What I'm gonna say, start off with it, whatever comfortable for you on a daily. I mean, on a weekly, but if you want to choose daily, you can incorporate it daily. So what you want to do is you want to find a spot in your house that you can set up a table. That it could be an end table, it could be a small table, it could be a corner of a kitchenette. It doesn't matter. Find a spot that resonates with you. And you definitely need to clean that spot. If you got any Florida water, put it on the rag. I'm looking at my bottle of Florida water. This old right here. If you have Florida water, great. If you don't have it, you don't have to go rush out to go try to get it.
Why Florida water?
Florida water is a spiritual cleaning agent. It's actually a cologne. It's funny. It's actually cologne water that a lot of barbers use. I remember that bottle, seeing that on a lot of barber stations back in the day, and I'm like, this is what we use to cleanse. It's old school. It smells sweet. Sweetness actually invites the ancestors and invites the spirit in. So Florida water is general spiritual cleansing. If you don't have Florida water, you can use whatever. Start off using what you want to cleanse the spot. So you want to start off with whatever regular household cleaning you got. Wash the walls, wash everything behind your table. Just wash. Do you have any sage? I think we all have sage in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You do want to sage the spot down as well. Spot everything, clean the table, wash the table down. You just want that spot and area to be cleansed, period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After that, you want to get, it depends. Sometimes you can have a white sheet. If you don't have a white sheet, white pillowcase, white old school lace curtains. Like I got curtains from Salvation Army because I do stuff all the time. So it's like just something white.
Yeah, like those dollies, white dollies.
Yes, you could use the white dollies.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have that on your table. You want to have white candles. It could be this candle. I know. Yeah, this candle, because I got this to represent my ancestors. This is from the Dollar Tree, and this probably is on clearance too. It's white. You can use Dollar Tree candles. Like you don't have to spend $9 on a white candle.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a white candle, or even your tea light candles. They're white. So it's like you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, but you do want to get a white candle. You want to get a glass of water. This is just empty, just to show you it empty. But you want some cold water, cool cold water. You want to get. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. If you have
Do
pictures of,
let me ask you, the candles, are you lighting the candles every day, or are you just you just have them sitting there?
I like to light my candles daily.
Okay.
When I'm communing with my ancestors, I like to have the candles lit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I like to have the candles lit. It's something about the energy of candles, that light. I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna make sure that they're white.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a picture of the ancestors that you're working with. You can have a list of the ancestors that you're working with. You can have a plant on that table, white candle plant. Um, you can give them, yeah, that's the basics of what you need. If you want to give them offerings of like black coffee, you can give them black coffee. You can give them the drink of their choice. So if they were, rum people, gin people, Hennessy, give them a shot of that. And then also with the culture that I'm in is to also give them, would represent air, would be a cigar or tobacco. I take that back. Some form of tobacco. So like the 99-cent backwoods, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When
Mm-hmm.
you, like I said, when you're budget conscious, I'm using my words correctly. When
Yeah.
you're budget conscious, you find budget ways of actually getting started. So if you don't have the money for a cigar, then get the 99-cent pack or the 129 pack. It's tobacco. It's still tobacco. And you'll leave that out for them. And some people say, there's I have to actually type out the words, but the way I've been trained is saying Omi Tutu, Omi Tutu. It's a way of honoring them, opening up the communications between them. You call out the ancestors, you pour libations to the ancestors, simple prayer. I'm pouring libations, calling forth my ancestors. For me, it would be I'm calling forth Yvonne Claxton, Ashe. And I always say Ashe behind each one to give the names that I'm calling out their recognition and their due.
Mm-hmm.
So Yvonne Claxton, Ashe, Mamie Williams, Ashe, Howard Williams. I just go through the list. Now, you do want to use only people who had good paths on this realm. In other words, if you're dealing with somebody that was a hothead and alcoholic and never dealt with their demons or anything, you don't necessarily want to put them on the list. You don't want
I guess not. Right.
to bring that energy into everything.
Mhm.
But yes, you can sit down and just talk to them. You can talk to them like we're talking to you. It's no real formal prayer or anything, but it's just I'm honoring you. I'm calling forth you. Like you said, Sheila said, your mom was your secretary. Aunt Edie was one of your biggest supporters. You can call upon them and be like, "Hey, mom, I need your help. I need some secretary. I need a secretary to show up in the physical. I need some assistants to show up in the physical. I need a team to show up in the physical." The ancestors have a way of working things out and spiritually to show up physically. But we have to let them know, just like even God may know what's going on with us. We still got to speak it to him like, hey, this is a situation right here. My throat got really dry real quick. But you just talk to them and be like, okay, thank you. I always start off with a thank you. Thank you for everything that you brought before me. Thank you for the elders that you have in my life. Thank you that represent you. Thank you for showing up in the physical and the times I didn't even realize that it was you guys. I just say thank you for everything. For everything. Like it took me a while to realize, like my father made a promise to me before he passed suddenly. He was like, I'm gonna get you a car. 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 I'm like, oh, okay, Dad, sure. And I didn't realize the car that I'm driving now is the car that manifested through him. And it manifested through my boyfriend because he's the one that actually picked and did the research and got the car.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. It took me a while to realize, oh, you did come through on your promise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, whoa, I have to say thank you because you did. I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad. thank you, thank you, thank you. You showed up. You did show up. I'm just like, but it took me years to sit down and realize, oh, that was my dad that, oh, okay. Okay. So you can get personal with your ancestors, meaning like both my parents were smokers, and the cigarette of choice for them was Newport Lights. You can leave fruit out for their ancestors, especially going back to them ancestors that's in the motherland. You can leave a bowl of fruit out for them. You know, it's the energy and the essence of the items that you're leaving out that they're feeding upon. This is how I look at it, that they're feeding upon, and it's giving them strength to do what they need to do on the spirit side. Just like we need to be fed spiritually by doing prayer and meditation and going out into nature, and recharging ourselves, making sure we're drinking our water, making sure we're getting our rest, making sure we're doing our exercise. The same principles apply to them spiritually as well. So even in Chinese culture, they have something, and I have stuff around me, but it's not out physically to me, but they have something called ancestor money. And ancestor money is fake money that looks like that you actually burn. You're burning to add that spiritual income to your ancestors. Now, if you want to get really bold, and I have done this before, and it has come back to me, you can physically burn $1. I've done $1 when I didn't have no ancestor money. Or you can even print out ancestor. You can print out ancestor money if you have a printer, and I think it'll be like billions of dollars, or millions or billions that you're burning over there to their spiritual bank accounts for them to do whatever they need to do. It's a physical manifestation of money. I give you money, you bless me with money, however that money shows up, be it to show up with a person, be it to show up with somebody whispering you the 3-digit numbers in your ear, be it checks coming in the mail, be it random people just giving you random money. It's you putting that money out in into the ethers and letting it come back. So you can put in money on your altar too. I'll put dollars on my altar. I'll put food on my altar, and I just sit down and communicate. And I thank them for their protection. I thank them for the people that's coming into my life. I thank them for the opportunities coming into my life, and they're in my patriarchy. My patriarchy is God, ancestors. For me, it's the Orishas. It could be anybody else, but just getting your shrines together and just sitting down and communicating with them on a regular basis changes the dynamic. It really does. And you start to feel your ancestors. You start to feel, and you could do this. You could also do this for your blood ancestors. If you're going to do this for community, have another section or a bookcase or something for the community people. Don't mix people. You don't mix your people together. Because they like to be honored separately, if that makes any sense. So it's like, you got your community people. We all got community people in our lives who are like brother and sister, but they're not blood related. And then you have your ancestral shrine just for your blood related people.
So would a person, and then and Pam Star has her hand up as well.
Okay.
I just want to know if a person is adopted, so there's no bloodline there, and then but my adopted mother, father, whatever leave, does that mean that they are community, or by the love of being my ancestor, my ancestor in relation to that person took me in, so there's no bloodline, would that override because of the love, the love thing?
I would say yes, until I would say it's a growth. You can do that until you start finding out about yourself. Because I think the dynamic changes once you start finding out about your ancestors. And I say that because now we have the DNA test. We have ways of finding out more about our past and our lineage. So when you start finding that out, I think it's okay right now for you to, if you're adopted and you don't know where you come and that is your parents, then you can honor them in that way. If and when the event, when you start getting questions answered about your true lineage, you know what I'm saying? Then you have to start incorporate, you still keep it up because that's all you know. And if I don't know, I will find out. Yes, Star. What's the question?
I have two questions. First question
Okay.
is, what is this called again? Ancestral what?
You can say ancestor honoring or ancestor vindication. Honoring your ancestors. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just say honoring your ancestor.
Okay. And the second question is, you talked about the glass of water, but you didn't elaborate on it. What do we do with the water?
The water is on your altar.
Okay.
Another way of feeding them, like we need water to live. We we're like, if we're human, we need water to stay alive, to keep ourselves functioning. The water is, some say, would be to communicate with them. It's clear. Like, I'm looking at a glass of water right now that's not clear. It's like, oh, I need to clean that. I need to cleanse, get some fresh water up there. So it's like you're giving them the elements: air, fire, water, earth. The air is either the incense and or the tobacco. Fire will be the candles. Water, of course, the essence of water. And the earth part, that's where, like, the plant or the flowers.
Mhm.
That's where, so you're giving them essence of all four elements on that shrine.
Okay.
So the water, the water is, the water is there to pour into the plant, which is the ground, right? And then the water, like you said, the candle, that's the fire, that goes up, and then you have, even with the fire, then you have smoke. Yeah, I'm just seeing it all, how it all.
But you still want to have some water, and you still want to have some water left in your vessel to represent water, the
Yeah, you
water.
always have water there. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Miss Juanita.
Were you? I don't think Star
Oh,
was.
I'm sorry, Pam. I'm sorry, Pam. You had another question. I'm so sorry. What was the other question?
The plant. The plant or the flowers, do they have to be real?
Yes, Pam. Yes.
That's a good question. No, that's a good question.
No. Yes.
Yes, there's some yes. I'm gonna go say yes. I'm a person that likes to have the real stuff on there.
Yeah, you would. I would just imagine that you would want real dirt. You would want real water. You would want, we not, Pam, we ain't having no cigar. This is in your room. I can't stand the smell of cigars. Grand Rising, Mama.
A cigarette.
Yeah, up there. Right. Now, if we just lay it there, that's fine. We could just lay,
Yeah,
lay a
it'll just be
cigar.
laid
but we
there.
ain't lighting
You don't have to light it. You don't have to light it. It's just it's representational. Sometimes I light it for my people. That's if they ask me to, and I'll blow it on their pictures and everything like that. Those who were smokers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to. It's just representational of it.
Yeah.
Just like you don't put, if your people didn't drink, you don't necessarily have to put liquor on there. You know what I'm saying? Half my family didn't drink. Some of my family did. So it's like, okay, everybody was different. I try to represent everybody to make sure that people aren't left out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Juanita. I'm gonna go on to Juanita. Juanita, you have a question?
I just wanted to share something. It's interesting. Last night, my daughter was sharing with me about adopted children, a conversation that she had with someone. And she pointed out that adopted children are still heirs, legal. And so that may give us some insight, what Sheila was talking about the adopted
Mhm.
ancestor. So I just thought it was interesting that my daughter had just shared that with me last night, and that we're talking about this today. So I just thought I would share it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mhm. Mama Head.
Oh, okay. So, Mama
Reba.
Hip, she put some good knowledge in the chat about doing a ritual altars. And she says that she's still typing. Oh, um, so yeah, I would regret, after the altar is created, thoughtfulness. Yeah, come on, Mama Head, because you done typed out some good stuff up in here.
Mhm.
Look, copy and paste. Hello, everybody. What's up?
Grand Rising, sweetie.
Grand Rising.
And Roger
Yes.
says the colors.
So I was looking up what the water meant, and it said the breast and nourishment. That's what I was looking up. Water. Yeah, those altars. And like Danielle was saying, I like the question was really good, Pam. Star, what you asked, but when you're adopted, your mother is your mother. So like Danielle was saying, to do a separate altar for different, once you find out, and then you create altars for different people. So I wouldn't eliminate the other altar if there was a mother and there was adopted, because that's the one you bonded with in that way. So I would have that altar and then have another for my newfound family members. And also, I think the spirit, Mama Oceandara was the best one to tell us about what spirits were created for. Liquor was created to be poured for spirits, not to be drank. That's not what, I don't know what it was for the bootleggers. I'm not talking about them. But the liquor was created to pour for, not to be consumed. So that it's not about I don't think it's about if a family member drank or not, because if somebody was, challenged with that addiction, you might not want to use that for, pouring for them. But I think it had more so to do with the spirit part and not necessarily the liquor and it being something that's intoxicating. It was for spiritual pours.
Yeah, for a lot of the spirits, like I said, they said rum, but then you find out different things for different strokes with different people. Like my dad was Colt 45. Represent him will be Colt 45 for him.
Mm-hmm. You do want to get what they liked because it's their altar. That's right.
Right. And then I'm in some spiritual groups where people be like, well, if you leave out the same food that killed them, then you're not doing it. I'm not getting into all that.
What? Don't start that. Listen here.
I'm gonna go by spirit. If spirit say to leave out some fruit, I'm gonna leave out some fruit. If it says leave out some cornbread and greens and whatever, I'm gonna leave that out for them, because that's what it's been working for me now. Okay.
Right.
It's what works for you, and it was what resonates from you. I also had a counterpart tell me, because like I said, I leave money at my altars. I do.
Mm-hmm.
The money that you leave at your altars is a debate as to whether or not is it just for use for other stuff for the altar, or what. And I'm like, the way my spiritual path and all taught me, I was like, it's there to buy more stuff for that altar. It's there if you choose to give it away to a charity or give it to somebody to help bless them. But there have been times where it has been a blessing unto my household in an emergency, because it was there. And I go and I ask my ancestors to say, it's okay if I can borrow this and I will bring this back in return and everything, blah, 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 blah. But there have been times where something has come up and it was there to help, to help the household. So if it's there to help the household, your household, and it's something that, if it is a blessing to them, it's a blessing back to you, and it's going to come back. It comes back trifold. I have had that happen. And I'm like, I don't go to them all the time and be like, yeah, I'm $5 short. Let me do. No, it's not that type of situation. It's like, oh, you're $2,000 back in behind rent and you're $200 short. And they'd be like, well, go check that altar over there. And over in that altar over there is $200 for you to come up with what you need to do. It's that type of situation, if that makes any sense. So if you put money on your shrine, it's there to bless the ancestors in their or any spirit in the physical realm. And then you just let it grow and accumulate, and they may come to you and be like, oh, we want this statue to represent us. The money is there on your altar to put that back on your altar. And like I said, it was told to me, if it comes up in a dire situation and needs to help the household, because remember the ancestors are in the house, so you got to keep the household functioning and going. That's what it was told to me. So use your discretion. Always ask them, is it okay if you can borrow this, and then do make sure that you replace what you borrowed back on there as a thank you to them.
I remember with Sherry, Mama Sherry, Sherry, you know, when I would be at her house and stuff, and she had a closet of that set aside.
I love it.
And then I never went down in the basement, but she had all kind of, you know, had things set up in the basement and stuff. And then every so often, you know, she had a cigar on there, and she would, you know, just light it,
Yeah.
put it out, and then she put it out.
Yeah, let's give them a little essence. I use cigars to give it essence. Cigars can be used to be cleansed as a way of cleansing, and I haven't had a good spiritual cleansing with a cigar and alcohol in a hot second. It's reminded me of, okay, I'm listening, like, okay, you can do these things. You can use that to give them the essence. It's a way. Cigar tobacco is a cleansing. A lot of people don't realize it's to cleanse and protect. Always ask for protection when you're praying or talking to your ancestors. Always ask them for protection. Always ask them for of your mind, your body, your family. Mention the people who are in the house. Protect Pam. Protect Philip. Protect. You know, just remind them everybody that's in the house. Just talk to them like regular people. It's nothing really the extra that you need to say, but like we talking right now, you could talk to them, and you know, Cameron, protect Cameron while he's on the football field, and you know, you can make him be like, you know, let him be the star, you know, let no other football player come, you know, let him not get any injuries, let him run away from his injuries, and you know, come off that field victorious and blah blah blah. You can tell them that you need protection over, who you need guidance, you know, so and so needs some guidance. Go and sit down and talk to them. Give them the guidance that they need, but definitely want to pay the power of protection over all your family members. Definitely want to make sure abundance, you know, whatever you need that needs to be taken care of financially, ask for it all. Because remember, it's God, then your ancestors. They're working together. They are working together. And I look at my ancestors as God direct spiritual team with my bloodline to make it happen. So I want to say, Mama Het, did you want to say anything? Because I know you got some knowledge over there. Oh, you good? Okay. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. And like I said, just bring them into the conversation of hey, need your guidance, need your assistance, open up the doors, close the pathways, you know, clear the fields, whatever you need, whatever you want to say, you need to say, just ask for it, because they will show up. And when they show up and they show out. That I do know. And then you'll feel them. I don't know why. It's like my table is like getting to me because I haven't sat here in so long. But yeah, the key trick is just to do it. Listen to your spirit. You can, you know, talk to them. Thank you, you know, for helping us out, being here, making things happen. If whether you
question
yes.
for everyone, whether you believe this or not, if you had to create your I'll call it circle of influence around, all right, let's take, all right, business, and you were to create from your ancestors, and not just your physical ancestors, the bloodline, and you were to bring together your board for
Hmm.
your business, for your, yeah, for your business, who would you select for your board? You know, for instance, I've mentioned that I'll talk to Irish because Irish, my cousin, number one, we were like this. And the other thing is that we created Everett's together and we grew up together. So we understand what each other, she knows what my desires were and what we were creating for Everett's. So I would have her on my board of directors. I would have Carrie, Carrie. I would have Kasinger on my board. So if I was to sit in the midst of my ancestors, and he's a community ancestor, okay, Jerry Kasinger. And I would have besides my mom, but I would have physically, I would have that's still here. I would have Oprah on that board that of wisdom around me, but she's still here. I would have my Uncle Jimmy, who as a child, that was who I would talk to about businesses. And he was always so willing to finance me, support me, open doors for me and all that. And I was young, still in my teens and stuff. But, you know, I would have people that, you know, really helped me. And I'd have to think about some that, well, definitely I did a whole lesson with who was that you were saying? Napoleon Hill. I used to teach that in school at Everett's. That would be our business. We went through that whole thick book like that of yeah, so I would have those type of people on there. Those specific people, but the other people. I'm gonna write that out. Who would I go to and go into a room where I'm having a board meeting with these people that are spiritual beings now with that.
Your ancestral board of directors, that has me thinking. Like I'm thinking about my grandmother, my great grandmother Lucy Jordan. From what I've known about her, she was the root worker. She was the midwife. She was into herbs. And I hear my cousin Steve talk about her all the time. It's like if you had any ailment, first thing she gonna ask you is, did you take an Epsom salt bath? And I'm listening to myself like, what's the first thing I always ask people when they say, did you take an Epsom? You have Epsom salt? Did you take a bath? And I'm sitting here like, oh, that's me now. And like I said, sitting down having conversations with people who knew these ancestors, even if you didn't know them,
Mhm.
I'm finding myself, and I'm like, okay, that's the herbs part and everything is coming from my great grandmother, Lucy Johnson, and then my grandfather on my dad's side, come to find out, worked at the Packard plant. That's all I heard, is that he worked at the Packard plant. But I later found out he later got into real estate. And I'm sitting here like, because my grandfather had 19 kids. I'm like, how did he support all these 19 kids without government assistance? So I had to ask that question to somebody in my family. It was like, well, he did sell real estate. That makes sense now. I knew that Packard check wasn't the only thing to for the way, and because I have pictures of my grandparents and a fur. My great grandmother, my grandmother has a fur going to church. And I'm saying, like, this man had 19 kids. How did this woman get this fur? Now I know how she got the fur, because it definitely came from the real estate. We know that. So my grandfather did real estate. And I'm like, oh, that means he was an entrepreneur. Now I know where I'm getting these different sides of me from by having these conversations. So, Roosevelt, because you had to know how to not only have all these kids, but how to manage the money to take care of everybody.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to, I'm figuring out where the entrepreneurial spirit came from. You know what I'm saying? where did it come from? Because, you know, like my mom was a great assistant. That's what I hear from a lot of people is how my mom jumped in and would help out and assist people. And I'm like, oh yeah, wonder where that came from. So I
Mm,
was like, definitely my mom, because I want a team. I'm creating my spiritual board team so I can manifest my board of directors because I definitely need a board of I need a team. Like when Queen Aduni said, "Well, assemble your team together," and I'm like, you know what? I need more like-minded people like me, and I have yet to find them yet. They're there, and they're gonna show up, but they haven't showed up yet. So yeah, that's who I think about. And then my Uncle Tony. My Uncle Tony was a communicator, excellent communicator, excellent. He was a journalist, so the communication, getting the words right, saying to get to do eloquently, so you can get them to do what they need to do. He was also a excellent photographer, and it's funny because all of my cousins, including myself, in some shape or form, have gotten into some form of photography. Some form of photography. Me being the most in social media, them being more artistic with photography, and also me being a model as well. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm starting to see where all these gifts, and you be wondering where these gifts and talents come from, and it's like, oh, they're running in the bloodline. So that, and then my dad has the gift of gab, and I'm thinking like public relations. If he was still alive, he would be the best promoter ever in life because he had the gift of gab. He had the gift of storytelling. Um, this is interesting. Like it's like you're picking the core you're picking the best of your ancestors to build that ancestral board. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
This is
I mean, I would definitely have Walt Disney on my board because we are so much alike. He would be on my board. Um, eh, yeah, we're just so. I used to say I'm a Disney, I'm a Walt Disney head. You know, yeah. Anyone else want to share? Who would your board be? Who would your board members be? Okay.
Um, only thing I could say is because I don't really have a business right now, it's just ministry.
That's a business, dear.
I retired from my other business.
Hmm. Yeah,
ministry is a business.
is a business.
Yeah,
The business.
it would, well, definitely my grandmother on my mother's side and my great grandmother on my mother's side.
Betty.
Yes. Um, Aunt Edie, Mama, Uncle Jimmy. I would say all Mama's siblings, all of them. I would have them on my board.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And my grandfather on my mother's side. Yeah.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share?
Mine would definitely be my father, first off,
Hmm.
because my father, little did I realize, um, as I entered business several years ago, starting out in real estate, that all the business seminars that he'd taken me to when I was a teenager
Wow.
and in my early 20s, that, you know, things that I kind of blew off. I took it in, but kind of blew off and didn't realize it had actually been planting seeds, all came back because he always kept a side business.
Hmm.
So little did I realize really he was planting that in me. The other person that I would definitely want is Madam C.J. Walker.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
By her being the first Black millionaire woman at a time when not only were there very few Black millionaires, there were really no women
Mhm.
who held that status. Warren Buffett would be
Mhm.
another. And even though he's still alive,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, because of his strategy of how you make money, how you allow your money to make, to make money.
Mhm.
And definitely both of my grandfathers, because them being Southern men in Louisiana, they had their own businesses, and that was unheard of for Black men to be entrepreneurs back at that time. Both of them were tailors. Um, so definitely both of my grandfathers. So yeah, those would be it.
Mhm.
I hope you guys are writing this down. Because I'm like, you can definitely, wow, this is taking this to a different level that I haven't seen. Let's put it like that. Like, I do have a spiritual mentor who does incorporate her ancestors and her reaches into her business um quite frequently. But I take that back, two of them. Two of them. Queen of Four, one of them being Queen of Four. I do remember seeing that. But
Oh yeah. Oh
this is
yeah.
definitely, yeah, this is definitely taking us to a level I haven't thought about. And I'm like, wow, that they thank you for Queen of Dewey for creating this. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're remembering that in actuality, there our we were always entrepreneurs. I mean, we ran countries. When I would go and see Dr. Miles Monroe in the Bahamas, and he was a third world leader. And when um, when he would bring the leaders from Bahamas, there would be a night where he would bring all the leaders, all the leaders in the city. I mean, in the Bahamas, and they were all Black. I had never seen that, but remembering that we ran countries, and these was like to see that we ran Africa, we run, all of that. So it's always been part of us. If we, I mean, and we're the first people, right? Then we were business, taking care of business right there to even start the world, as we know it, or when we started, our people started, because I know it's been, forever and ever. There's no certain time in spirit. But we've always been entrepreneurs. This is when we started working in the United States or over in here in this world, that we were, but the whole slavery thing and dehumanizing us, and not educating, that wasn't available for us. But still, in the midst of that, the white man tapped into our leadership in
Hmm.
order to make their stuff work.
Right.
It was us who did that. It was us that knew that would create another way of farming and another way of bringing water from the ground. And it was our people. Yeah. So there was no me. Yeah, that's all I have to say. We got the goods. We got the
Yeah.
goods.
You always like that. Okay, Harriet Tubman, but that's a strong one to be on your board.
Oh yes, yes, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Wow. So yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm like, definitely, I want to say the homework assignment is, let's start writing 25 things out daily that we're thankful and grateful for, so that you can, wow, when you do that, you can stop complaining and be like, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. And it's like, oh no, you have everything that you need right now in order to do what you need to do, what you need to do.
Now. Mhm.
Um, I'm like, I'm excited because I keep forgetting that this is my own show. So I'm like, okay. So one of the things I have no limitations here. So I can do my shame. I could do my plugs. Like, okay. So, I am still passionate about social media, and I'm gonna let you ladies know if you need help with your social media, I am still available. I got to figure out another class for this date for this month where we can come together one-on-one and build upon our social medias. I've seen it's just the way that it is. It's like there's no way of getting around it. You have to be able to market yourself and your brand, your show, your business, whatever. And there's tips and tricks. You know, Queen Aduni has sat down with me. I've seen improvement in her. I've seen the what is it, Deetra from one of the Elizabeths. But we've got to get out there. We have got to push our businesses out there because if we don't, I tell people I'm looking at other people. I put it like that. Looking at other people doing the same thing that I know what you do, but do they know what you do? And if they don't, it's because you're not putting yourself out there to let them know what's going on. I do want to acknowledge Juanita because like I said, I saw your TikTok. I'm seeing your TikToks and I see you putting yourself out there. So
Go
from
Juanita, go,
I
go.
see you, Juanita. I see you. I want to see everybody else. So I am available and I'm available for one-on-ones and coffee and lunch and all of that. So please get with me because I can show you how to do Canva. I can show you how to at least like I'm thinking like with Bridget. I know you're busy all weekend with the weddings and everything, but if we could see the before and after, that hour got you, didn't Mama Evelyn?
Huh?
That hour
No,
got
I
you.
had to leave. I went down to Eastern Market and got some salmon and some
Ooh.
chicken. Yeah.
Oh, ew. I
Yeah,
wish
I'm gonna say
had I
she
known, I would have given you my grocery list.
Yeah, you look very perky this morning.
Huh?
You look very perky this morning.
Yes, I've been out in
Yeah.
the sun.
You look beautiful. You was missed. I was like, where Mama Evelyn at? But yeah,
'Cause I was just gonna let Sheena go by herself, and then Spirit said, "No, y'all go together," and we did, and it wasn't crowded, and we got it done.
Yeah.
So we're good.
so yeah, we talked about our ancestor. We created our ancestral board of directors. If you could have a board of directors for your business, ancestral wise, who would be on your board?
Oh,
I'm gonna
Ooh.
work on that while you thinking about that. I'm gonna work on that. I am creating my board because I have to create the physical board and I have to, create my spiritual board. So definitely that's one of my on my to-do list. Back to you, Mama Evelyn.
because she was savvy and great business wise in life.
I know who
Her
you
name is
are.
Laura Valsey,
Oh.
and I used to work for her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, her house was immaculate. She stayed in Huntington Woods. They had properties, but her and her husband, they worked as a team in that house. Anybody who bought that house, because I can't imagine her son kept it. He may have, but he may not have. She had a daughter and a son, and that house in Huntington Woods was on point. If somebody bought that, it was a well-maintained home. Anything went wrong, it got fixed immediately. She kept up with replacing windows, whatever she had to do. Yeah, she was really savvy. Yeah, she taught me a lot. She taught me how to cook fearlessly. Not be afraid of if you don't have a certain ingredient or something, So yeah, so that's the first one. They give us some. Oh, well, Mama Sumara.
I'm going to say that's who I thought you was going to say first, but okay. I knew she was going to come up.
Yes. Ooh, let's see. I'm gonna have a powerful board here.
Yes, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah. Else.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me give it some thought. That's
Okay, so I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
Good.
let you think about this, and I am going to make a. You got something to say? Okay.
No, waving
No.
at her daughter. Uh-huh.
Waving at Sheena.
Oh,
Mhm.
hey, Sheena. Um, so one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come and ask my Elizabeth for a powerful request, okay? I know you guys, many of you guys know that I am a part of a wonderful Black-owned organization called TAVA. And when I say being around like-minded Black people of all walks of life, I got a real good taste of that 2 weeks ago in Houston. When I went for their corporate conference. Um, yeah, the being with this company has been a blessing. It fits right in alignment with what I like about health and wellness and helping people actually um get in alignment. Okay, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I'm in a role for supervisor, okay? I have an opportunity of actually getting to supervisor status, which includes a bonus and all this wonderful stuff. I have a website and I'm asking all of my Elizabeths to support me and at least purchase one product. That could be the liquid vitamin or the detox tea, or it got a CBD mood enhancement now that's got the CBD at 25 milligrams of CBD. I just ask y'all to go and do one product, just one, because purchasing through the website helps me actually get closer to being supervisor, getting to that next level. We also got Tava Worldwide. I want to talk to each one of you about Tava Worldwide because I signed up recently. You can save up to 65% off your hotels and off your cars. And I'm like, I know a lot of us, when it comes to travel, we be looking like, yeah, that's a little expensive. I didn't find a way to cut that down in half. You could do Tava Worldwide where you buy travel points. They even got resorts. They got over 800,000 destinations that you can save money on. So when you talk about going somewhere, Queen of Dooney, we can go somewhere. And save money on the hotel and the car. There's Tava Worldwide, and I missed the meeting last night for Tava Finance, the Tava Trade, because we hooked up with a Black man, a wonderful young Black man named Dr. Menora. He owns a company called Tradeology, and they're all about teaching you how to trade with crypto and just get into the trade part of it all. You can check it all on my website. I put it in the in the chat.
Mhm.
And like I said, the cheapest thing that they got there is the liquid vitamin. It's $45. I just ask for your support. Just go purchase one product for me. Help me get to this supervisorship so I can help other members on my team get the supervisorship. And yeah, like I said, the CBD coffee, I absolutely love. I now have something branded wise. I got this from conference. I was like, I have to have it so I can do the branding. And I can't wait till we get our Elizabeth mugs to start branding ourselves. And I am going to come up with holiday packs for the holidays. I'm working on that right now. And I'm working on my digital gift cards. Yes, I learned that yesterday. If you have a Wix website, you can create digital gift cards from Wix. I was like, oh, I didn't learn from networking with somebody. So I am gonna come up with digital gift cards. And I'm throwing that out there too, that you can because it's the holiday season. That's another revenue stream that you can create for any business is a digital gift card. Let them pay for the money up front, and then let the person come and use that gift card for your business for whatever they want to use it for.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's my shameless plug. If you can purchase somebody to gift of wellness. We all getting into the season where we got to figure out the perfect gift for somebody. That person that's always talking about losing weight might be thankful for some detox tea. That person always talking about some energy might be thankful for an energy tablet. Person think, somebody that needs to calm down might be good for the sexy. And I know we just came out with the collagen too. I will have way more product at Juanita's event. The Labs for Cares event coming up on November 17th. I don't know why I had it in my head. It was November 11th. November 17th. And I believe a lot of us Elizabeths are participating with that event. Is that correct, Juanita?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is also the perfect opportunity for us to get our social media on as well at this event. So have your phones charged. I think I might create a nice charging station somewhere to keep our phones charged, but we should be on every platform. We should all be live at some point in time doing an event showing other people on our circle what's going on. We all should be taking thousands of pictures, and we don't necessarily have to post everything right then and go on sharing our stories, but we should have a lot of different content promoting our businesses while promoting the event so that we can keep it spreading out and about.
Mhm.
So I definitely I would love to come together and do something group wise so that we all can, just be a part, to be up on the same level. So when we're at the event, we're promoting, and we should all be promoting Juanita's event on our social media pages, in your stories, in your wheels, and on your page. We promote, 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 promote. We should be sick of each other seeing the same flyer show up on our timeline from each other's what is it, streams.
Yeah, the other thing that can be done is what you're gonna do. So you have the flyer, but you can also put, I will be da da da, I will be doing this. I'm gonna give my testimony. Star can say, she's not on social media at all though, but she can say, and that I'll be giving my testimony about what I went through. So come on out. So you have the flyer, and then you have to write something in there, that would be good. What you're going to be doing. I will be performing. I will be blah, 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 or I'm looking forward to, whatever, as far as what you can put on, along with that flyer. Why are you going to be there? Not just I'm promoting the event, bam, but why, if you're going to be there, what are you going to be doing? And so if they want to see you, this is where I'm going to be on that day and during that time. Yeah.
Yeah, people will come out just to support you and get blessed by whatever else is going on. People want to know what's going on with you. They want to know what's going on with you. So let them know, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing. Invite people, come see me. Not because they don't know anybody else there. They may not know anybody. They may not know who Juanita is, but they know who you are. Come see me. And they'll come see you, and then they'll get to see exactly what's going on elsewhere. But we should see this flyer on our timelines every single day up into the event comes. I am going to go live and talk about the event. I'm going to try to get Juanita to come on live with me too, because she came down to the Creator Summit for a hot second and did a live to invite her people to come down to the Creator Summit. So I'm like, yay, okay. And yeah, we could do. And Lolly, I know Lolly. Good morning, Lolly. Grand Rising, Lolly. I know Lolly has an event coming up as well too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to show Mama Head because she brought something to my attention, and I want you to know I heard you, my sister. How about that?
I'm here.
How about that?
Oh, she's
Ooh.
sassy. We're gonna have to get us some black outfits. I need a black onesie.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm gonna have them in this form with the white top and the black, so people can select which one they want.
I'm going to give me a cat suit. I'm gonna match my cup.
And then I did this, I did lay it out with the t-shirt. Yeah, there it is with the t-shirt as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But what I want to do is I really want to put, like, how what is that with the check? What's tennis shoes? What is that?
Laces?
Or a swoosh or whatever.
Where they have just the check. It's anyway. So I want to be able to put that here. That's the logo that's there. But then when we put our sayings on here, they know that that's related to, the
Okay, Elizabeth.
Yeah. And then the writing. And I'm looking for, I have written down so many things. That's a t-shirt.
Right, right.
Now, now finding them in the midst of all my notes and stuff is what we had need to do. But I do want to get this is cool, but I do want to get some I'm gonna order so that I can see what how this shirt, the quality of the shirt and such,
Right.
and be able to have different colors. I don't know if they have just the white and black or they have some other options. I didn't go that far to order anything, but I was
Mm.
just working on this last night to see what it would look like. Yeah.
Now,
But
did you do this in Canva, Queen?
I did.
Come on with it. Danielle, can you put Mama down for points for extra credit for using Canva?
Of course. I'm loving
love
this.
Canva. Ever. I ain't no novice, boo. I want y'all to know this. I can get my way around. So yeah.
I know, because you got the magic. You do the hamana, hamana, hamana. I said that's how she work it out. That's the work it out. Hamana, hamana, hamana.
Just let me know. Oh, yeah, right. Canva. Yeah.
But really, a lot of this, my children, when I used to teach in school, they would get a little frustrated. And the teachers, because they had, not dealt with computers. And I said, let me tell you something. You learned how to walk. I said, I don't want to hear it. All we doing is clicking and dragging.
Right.
I used to do a lot of exercises to do click and drag. It's like picking up a pixie stick and putting it over here in another pile. It's just click and drag. It's not complicated. Mac and PC, a mess. It's all the same.
That's why I tell people, I have to go, especially when I'm working with seniors in computer, I have to let them know there's no particular combination that's going to make the phone blow up or the computer. So I'm like, if you think you're going to hit the wrong thing and it's not going to happen. Let me take that fear away from you. It's not going to happen. If you just scroll up, scroll down. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of I have 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds that know how to work these phones better than some 50-year-olds. And I'd be like, how did this generational gap happen?
Mm-hmm. And see, if you nosy, you gonna love a cell phone. If you nosy is a good trait to have when you have things like this. Just want to see what all these buttons do. My mother used to get mad when we would go places and I'm messing with stuff. I said, Mama, that's how I learned. I want to open and unlock and lock the doors in the car. I'm pushing every button in this car because I'm gonna figure out what it does and how it does it and what it's for. You gotta be nosy. And nosy is a quality. I mean, excuse me, inquisitive. I'm inquisitive.
Okay, yeah. Oh my goodness.
And don't be afraid. Fear is not given to us. So stop living in it. Take that stuff away. Juanita, what is it? What is the word FEAR?
False.
Well, I know it is false evidence of appearing real.
There you go.
Evidence appearing real.
That's right. Get out of that. We don't have no time for that. We got to be on this thing and on our thing. And I don't care what's going down or what they saying is going down and coming. Make sure you do your work. You still got to do your work. I don't care what they got coming down the pipeline. Get your work done. Do what you've been sent here to do. Don't worry about that other stuff because they're going to do their stuff. Get yours done. No excuses.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Well, it is 10:02. Lolly, do you want to greet us before we take off?
That's what I was just telling her.
Lolly, Lolly, Lolly.
Hello.
Hey, Lolly.
Grand Rising.
I hope y'all have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day and start to your week. And that's about all I have to say. So
Yay. And you got
Thank you.
Lolly got the sunshine on deck.
Oh, okay.
All right, love y'all.
Love you.
Mama Head, are you back?
Great, good show.
Where am I? McDermott at Georgia.
When you do that?
Just all over the place.
Well, back tomorrow.
I'm gonna say you gotta be back by Friday because
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I gotta be back by Thursday. I got a show Thursday. Yep. I'm not playing. Tuesday is it.
Okay. Well,
All right.
Wednesday, ladies, I will be in the middle of the mouth thing, pulling my teeth, and they've already created my and so I might be a little puffy. Star is gonna hold it down that morning,
Okay.
get
Great.
everything started, and so
That's
yeah,
gonna be
Mama Head,
interesting.
that's your day, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm sure you're working on your partners.
Oh yeah. I'm working on my part. I'm working on them. I'm working on. Listen, I'm working on my partners.
And I want to say that last night we was finally able to catch up with Mama Hawa. And
Oh,
yeah, she finally got you. She just has not had time dealing with the new life. She will be here Thanksgiving that weekend. So I thought maybe we could maybe that Saturday or
yeah.
something that we would have. And I thought about us going to some restaurant, but no, let's see if Mama Razia would like that she prepares a lunch and we pay her. We bless her and we come together at her home. That would be
I
beautiful.
love it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk more about that soon.
Okay.
And give yourself a big hug. Oh,
Thank you guys for showing up today. And
beautiful show, Danielle. Beautiful.
Showing up.
Good
Right?
show, Danielle. Good job today.
Yeah.
thank you.
And give the world a hug and throw some love out there.
Holly, I'm glad you just hugging in your mind so you don't take your hands off the wheel.
And listen, you ladies, now, Bridget, obviously Juanita, and I know Lolly, because she's talking about what she does, that we come together, all of us, and let's all decide. People keep asking me, well, so what do you want to do and where you want to go? No, let's come together and talk about the conference and let's get everybody's mind that it's not just Queen Aduni, it's we as Elizabeths, we can come together and create and decide where we're going to have it and who's going to do what to make it happen. Ashe?
Ashe. All right. Love y'all.
Love you
Love
guys.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.